I'm often asked, why Hapkido? In this video, I'd like to tell you about what Hapkido has done for me, and then pay attention because closer to the end, I'm going to talk about what Hapkido can do for you. And I think you can gain as much or more than I have in the years that Hapkido has been part of my life. Now, a little over 20 years ago, early 1996, I finished my first book, Hard-Won Wisdom from the School of Hard Knocks for Paladin Press. And everyone asked me, what's the book about? And I would tell them self-defense, and they would immediately say, what's your black belt in? And at the time, I didn't have a black belt. I had studied judo in high school. When I was stationed at Fort Bragg, I did some karate at Wolf's Karate down in Fayetteville, just outside of Bragg. When I was in Korea with the military in the 80s, I did a little taekwondo. I got out of the military, I went to Helena, Montana, and under Dennis Dallas, I learned some Hapkido, some more judo, and some more karate. In college, I did some with the Toshikan Karate Club in Missoula, but I never achieved black belt in any of those. The book was about real fighting, real self-defense, based on actual experiences. But I decided I want to learn more about the martial art. I do want to become a black belt in something. Out of what I've done, what would I like to do? Because I wanted to go back to Korea, Hapkido was the art that I chose. Partly because of the little introduction, partly because of the Billy Jack movies, and partly from things I read, wanting to learn the joint lock aspects that Hapkido has, which is my favorite part of the art. So in 1996, I headed back to Korea, this time as a civilian, and I started training there. 20 years later, I still have a solid relationship with my instructors there. Kwanjungnim Kim Young-jong, Kwanjungnim Lee Jung-gyu, and Kwanjungnim Kim Hyun. At the time, Lee Jung-gyu and Kim Hyun were under the school of Kwanjungnim Kim Young-jong, but they have since went out and they have their own schools. And when I go back now, I see all three of them. But it's Lee Jung-gyu that I have learned the most from and has promoted me up through 5th Dan. Now, why is that important? It's important because of the relationships that I have had because of Hapkido, more than the physical things that I have learned. The relationships with those instructors. I met my wife while I was living in Korea studying Hapkido. Since then, I have met many individuals all around the country of the United States and around the world, Canada, even Australia. And the men and women that I have met through the Hapkido community and the relationships that I have built with them, that is more important than all of the joint locks, the kicking and the striking and everything else. And I really hope that for you and your martial art journey. Now, if you decide to choose Hapkido as your martial art of choice, here's what you can get. You can get a traditional martial art with a self-defense emphasis. And that doesn't mean everything we do in Hapkido is geared for the street. We do some classical things. We do some things that are more for demonstration or for learning purposes other than just being able to fight. And that's what I like about Hapkido, because I'm not just a fighter, I want to be a martial artist. And Hapkido has given that to me, but it's also complemented the self-defense skills that I continue to practice and learn and teach on the other side of the curriculum that I do. Now, one of the things that you'll learn about Hapkido is they don't have a lot of ground stuff. So if you want to learn a lot of ground, Hapkido's not the best art for that. And I would say either supplement it with another art, or maybe you choose something if the ground fighting is the sole thing that you really want to focus on. But one great thing about Hapkido, it's one of the few arts that actually teaches the cane as a weapon. And that's one of my favorite weapons because you can take it anywhere. And that's why I have the 2-disc Hapkido cane DVD set to try to introduce that Hapkido weapon to more people. But again, let's get back to what are your goals for training? Look and see if the goals you have for training match what Hapkido can provide you and the Hapkido instructor that you can actually visit and train with on a regular basis. And if they do, Hapkido can be a great choice. But the same thing can be said for all martial arts. And I know people in a lot of different styles that have built equally beneficial relationships with people from that style. So it's not just a Hapkido thing. but it's been a Hapkido thing for me. And that's why Hapkido is right as far as a martial art for me. And it could be right for you too. And if it is, I hope that I can help you along your journey. Maybe we'll meet at a seminar someday. Maybe my products and different things on YouTube will help you. But whatever art you choose, just make sure that you're developing the relationships and achieving the goals that you have for training. And then it will be a wonderful part of your life, just like Hapkido has been for mine.